You wake up suddenly to not feeling the well-defined arm that's always usually around your waist. You groan as you roll over to face Tony. You settle back into the covers, about to fall asleep again, but your eyes open yet again when you hear Tony start breathing heavily. He's gasping for air as if he's sucking oxygen in after being underwater for a very long time. You sit up from the bed and grasp his arm, ready to shake him awake and out of his nightmare. "Tony! Tony! Baby, wake up!" you say softly. Before you can try and shake him awake, a metal hand grabs your shoulder roughly, pinning you back onto the bed. You scream as you see the suit of armor looming over you, as it holds up one of its repulsors glowing and standing in a threatening stance, as if ready to turn you to ashes if you try to attack Tony. Tony jerks awake after your scream, and he only takes a fraction of a second to analyze the situation before taking action. "Power down!" he commands. The armor obeys and releases your shoulder before crashing to the ground, the pieces scattering and hitting the wooden floor loudly. You quickly jump out of the bed, standing on the other side of the room, watching the pieces of armor as if it would reassemble itself and attack you again. "Ryan, I'm sorry," you hear Tony say. "Please don't go," he continues in a broken tone that makes you look at him. Once you get your breathing under control, you walk over to where he sits on the bed with his head hanging down, looking down at the floor. You kneel down in front of him and take his hand in yours, making him look up at you as he straightens his back. You smile softly as you stand up and straddle his lap. You look into his teary brown eyes as you put your hands on his cheek. "I'm not going anywhere, Tony. I'm staying right here," you say as you rub both of your thumbs over his scruffy cheeks. He looks into your eyes pleadingly. "Promise?" You smile at him while putting your forehead against his. "I promise," you say softly. Tony smiles slightly before wrapping his arms around you, pulling you even closer to him. As he holds you, he whispers apologies to you, which make you tighten your grip on his neck as you hug him. You don't want to pull away, but you know that if you don't, he'll be doing this all night. You pull away from him a few moments later and look into his beautiful chocolate brown eyes. "Tony, it wasn't your fault. You were having a nightmare and the suit was just trying to protect you," you say softly as you rub his cheek with your thumb, hoping to calm him down some more. It does seem to calm him down a bit, so you lean forward, pressing a soft kiss onto his temple before snuggling your face into his chest. You then feel Tony bury his face into the crook of your neck, making you smile slightly. You then feel wetness on the skin of your neck, making your smile disappear immediately as you lift your head slightly, running your fingers through his soft brown hair soothingly. You don't really know how much time passes until Tony finally pulls his head away from your neck. He looks up at you with tear-stained cheeks and red eyes. You lean forward and kiss all of the tears away, your thumbs massaging his cheekbones. You then pull back. "Do you want to go back to bed?" you ask. He nods silently, and you get off of his lap so that he can get back under the covers. Once he's settled under the blankets, he opens his arms for you, which makes you smile. You walk over to the other side of the bed and crawl over to him, putting your head on his chest and your arm around his waist as he pulls the cover over the two of you. "Tony?" you ask him as you look up at him after a moment. He turns his head so that he's looking down at you. "Yeah?" he asks. "I love you," you say before leaning up and pressing your lips against his in a passionate kiss. Tony's arm that's around your waist pulls you closer to him as he kisses you back. You let go after a few moments and he smiles down at you. "I love you too, sweetheart." You kiss him on the cheek before laying your head back onto his chest, quickly falling back asleep in the strong arms of your boyfriend, Tony Stark, who, for the rest of the night, doesn't have another nightmare.